Okay, what's up, guys? Brian Secretary is here today, and today we are again back again in the house in the bathroom like we were the one day, but my brother was asleep and less lucid. And he spends his days watching Netflix and Agents of Shield and all that Marvel garbage. So where do we start for this video? Let's see. I made about 7 videos in approximately 2 days. I made 7 videos in. I'm gonna get this video down. I'll probably upload some more, but it's not gonna be about anything. It's just gonna be like joke videos. It's gonna be foolish videos, even at that. But 50 seconds in, 2 seconds in. And today we're going to be talking about Dextrose Monohydrate, a thing that I have not talked about on this channel. So let's list the foods that are high in it. So when we look at Dextrose Monohydrate, of full carbohydrate that is usually powder, usually found in supplementations too. It's a source in caffeinated beverages. After we get caffeinated beverages, it's usually candy. We look at Hostess, Low Debbie's, supplementations. Oh, pancakes, even at that. Cereal. I was looking through it and I actually found dextrose monohydrate. 29 carbohydrates actually in pancakes, if you want to know that. It's pretty interesting. I was looking at the facts one day that the guy almost ran me over and called me alcoholic when I had a thing of Pepsi. So we have so far, we have caffeinated beverages, we have candy, we have Hostess, we have Little Debbie's, Solentations, cereal, we have pancake 2, energy drinks, sports drinks. And usually foods that are usually high in carbohydrates and foods that are commonly found with you can look in the ingredient list. It doesn't say dextrose monohydrate because it's a form of carbohydrate, sugar, but it's not gonna be listed under sugar because again it's a form of carbohydrate and it's usually powdered, so you have to find it in powdered things like candy. We look at Little Debbie's. We look at foods that are high in high fructose corn syrup and corn syrup just at that. And that's why it's going to be mostly found in caffeinated beverages and energy drinks and sports drinks like Gatorade. We look at Powerade because it's definitely different from juice. The consistency of it because it's powdered, so it's not corn syrup. Corn syrup is it's not as abstract as dextrose monohydrate. We look at corn syrup. It's basically just regular syrup. Like that. So let's see. We have caffeinated beverages, candy. We have Hostess, Low Debbie, supplementations, cereal, pancakes, energy drinks, sports drinks, foods high in dextrose monohydrates. And I think that the most misleading thing is that when people are not getting micronutrients, macronutrients, microminerals, essential minerals, nutrients, and vitamins, they're going to be looking for supplementations to, again, plant nutrition, usually because they have empty calories. And the non-good thing about that is that for people's metabolisms that are usually low and not as high, they're not as fast, it's not as efficient, and as strong as other people's metabolisms that can basically just carbohydrate load. What is carbohydrate loading? So carbohydrate loading is increasing your carbohydrate intake while decreasing exercise before competition usually, and this is done within skinny people with amazing genetics and with high basal metabolic rate. The BMR, as we look about it, BMR is not just a metabolism, it's referred to as BMR, basal metabolic rate. So if you know that. And the main thing about supplementations, the nutrition, the micronutrients, the minerals, vitamins that you need, that you're getting. But the same thing as that, and this is why I stress real food Or you get some micronutrient, have a balance between macronutrients, minerals, all the essential stuff that your body needs, the requirements that your body needs. I again stress that, but on the other hand, when you have so many supplementations, the thing about that is so much dextrose monohydrate, so many carbohydrates, and then this is gonna make it nearly impossible for the hormones. Shit. I'm writing a book right now. So it's a new thing, definitely, but why not? So now when we increase our carbohydrate intake, our intake of dextrose monohydrate and high fructose corn syrup, it doesn't have any positive effects on our blood glucose level. And again, as you know, I went through this in the type 1 and type 2 diabetes videos with you guys. I talk about how insulin, the hormone insulin, is produced and made in the pancreas and the liver. Again, the liver does not only make and store cholesterol, regulate cholesterol, also stores and regulates sugar. It gives that to insulin so it can be further regulated and to make sure that we're not consuming too many carbohydrates or less carbohydrates, which is going to lead to low blood sugar and high blood sugar as we look at that. So, again, if a carbohydrate is past a daily intake of carbohydrates, and usually with the thing is why people are overweight or morbidly obese, the reason to this is that many people they don't provide the reason to this. You need the reason. It's crucial. It's because they usually have low metabolism. They usually have no blood circulation. They have no anabolism, catabolism, biosynthesis going on. No further muscle growth. No further muscle fiber expansion. Metabolic creation, which really increases your metabolism, especially with a lot of metabolites are made. They aid in the growth and reproduction, development of muscle fiber superfood complex. We'll get that through the simple thing as biosynthesis is from that. But as we look at catabolism, it's really major. Make sure that you're having nutrients, so that you're having bargain foods that are high nutritional value, getting to the catabolic breakdowns, so they can actually release the energy. And when the food breaks down, it releases energy. Anabolism, it requires energy. If you never release energy, the food's never release energy. How are you going to credit the energy for your metabolism, your basal metabolic rate to grow, for metabolic creation to happen, to spark actually? For your muscle fibers is that they require energy, as blood vessels require energy to deliver oxygen to the muscle tissues, and body cells. As we look at that, and let's see, 8 minutes into this video. And again, when you're carbohydrate intake, you're not trying to maintain, you're not trying to keep it at a constant. Again, you're not having too many carbohydrates, and the main reason why people overweight or morbidly obese is why is because they have low metabolisms. Again, they're something that I call carbohydrate sensitive. They can't look at a person's fast metabolism that has amazing genetics and basically can save just the state that they have the vascularity, yet the state that they have the muscle tone and muscle growth, that they can save all that. They can save the body composition. Again, it's going to stunt the growth of all these factors that when we look at the subject of skinny people that do have fast metabolisms and that just eat junk. It's going to save those factors, but again, your organs they're very very weak, very sensitive, so they're still going to be affected, and diseases are going to appear more. So even if at the end of the day you have a high metabolism, you can burn off all the carbohydrates, you can burn off all the calories, empty calories, without gaining in fat, you're still gonna have to looking forward to being open to so many diseases. What are you doing? Never mind. 9 minutes and 50 seconds into this video. Dextrose monohydrate, the truth, part 1. We're gonna do a part 2 here, probably. It'll be 10 minutes. used to make my one video was like 20 minutes. I stopped that. Yeah, going back to the veganism and vegetarians or whatever. So again, now when our blood glucose level is too high or too low, and this goes back to the definition of insulin sensitivity, insulin resistance, is when the hormone insulin cannot regulate blood glucose level, and when you constantly increase your carbohydrates, if you don't have enough carbohydrates, the thing that's going to happen is that the hormone insulin it's going to make it really hard for the hormone insulin to even form. It needs a constant blood glucose level to actually form in the pancreas, to be produced by the pancreas, to do its main job, which is to regulate a blood glucose level. And when you constantly have a corrupted amount of carbohydrate intake, the thing that's going to be happening, that you're not trying to control your blood glucose level, and because of this, your blood glucose level is unstabilized. It's either too low, or too high, in which you have less carbohydrates to function, or high amount of carbohydrates, and it's going to make it hard. And as I talk about this in the type 1 diabetes and the type 2 diabetes video, glucagon is not just the only hormone that regulates our blood glucose level. It's insulin. It was made for the job that it has to carry in that kind of sense. And as I stressed in the type 1, type 2 diabetes, type 1 diabetes, it's again really simple to get fixed. Type 2 diabetes is when the hormone insulin is the thing that happens to the hormone insulin. And type 2 diabetes is when that not enough can be made, and when it's not formed, when your carbohydrate intake is increasing, carbohydrates are increasing, malnourishment is increasing, you have all these empty calories, you have no nutrition at all. The major thing is, when we look at this, is we have way too many carbohydrates. You have a correct amount of carbohydrate level, which again affects your blood glucose level. It affects if it's too high, and when it's too high or too low, insulin cannot be made. It cannot regulate. It's not strong enough. It's not efficient, fast enough to regulate blood glucose level. This leads to an imbalance of the hormone insulin in the body. We have to look at insulin shots usually to get insulin back in the body to stabilize, to get the blood glucose level stabilization, as I'd say it. But again, glucagon is a hormone that really never disappears from the body, because it's always going to be there. Insulin is something that you have to take really seriously. The hormone insulin is because there's only one hormone like that can regulate blood glucose level, that was made to regulate blood glucose level. It's very crucial that you make sure that that your carbohydrate intake is that it stays balanced. It stays constant. It doesn't go up too high or too low, because then you're gonna have a blood glucose level that is either too high or too low, increasing your carbohydrate intake, or decreasing your carbohydrate intake, which makes it hard if the hormone insulin is even powerful enough, if it can control blood glucose level, and then it just spirals out of control. And the thing about dextrose monohydrate is that the simplest form of carbohydrate powdered, found in sports drinks, caffeinated beverages, supplementations. They can even be found in someone drinks in drinks, boost. They can be found in immature foods that have high amount of carbohydrates. They usually have dextrose monohydrate in it because they're powdered. Again, protein powders. Any powder, it says it in the name. It's powdered. So, and they usually not very high in fructose corn syrup. We look at foods like, cereal. We look at foods like, expand the variety that are high in fructose corn syrup. So we look at things like ketchup, condiments. We look at syrup. We look at, now again, stay away from the fact of protein supplementation, because that's where dextrose monohydrate is going to be highest in. And fructose corn syrup is not only in that, it's found through a variety of sodas, caffeinated beverages, sports drinks. Not really sports drinks, but in caffeinated beverages, soda pops, as the cool kids call it nowadays. It's it's highest in that because it's not powdered, but in sports drinks it is powdered. Things like Gatorade, Powerade, Red Bull. It's not good at anyway. It's just going to be increasing, and especially if Jesus, bathtub's gonna break. Anyway, it's gonna increase your chance of it's when we look at cholesterol, a liver makes cholesterol. It doesn't need all this unnatural and unneeded cholesterol that we're intaking in, so we can just remove that again to lower all cholesterol, get all that bad cholesterol to make it so that it's either for the liver to do its function to stabilize cholesterol, to regulate cholesterol like it's supposed to do. And the thing about this, it's not just fats. Not foods high in lipids. It's foods high in cholesterol, high in sodium that affect and that are part of the omega-6 fatty acids family, which is pertaining to, let's get this done fast, linoleic acids, and it's part of the polyunsaturated fat family, omega-6 fatty acids, omega-7, the part of the monounsaturated fats family, usually highest in palmitoleic acids, acidic acids. And it's again really bad. And liver, it doesn't just regulate cholesterol, it has to store carbohydrates, it has to store sugar for you to either use. And the thing about that is that usually when it's not being used in your body, because you can simply not burn off. Your metabolism is too slow to burn off the calories from fat, to burn off calories from carbohydrates, burn off the empty calories that you don't have the ability to do because you have a low metabolism, a metabolism that functions below someone with a fast metabolism that has amazing genetics, that has an amazing metabolism and overall a lot of energy and a lot of nutrition, a lot of nourishment. It comes from those people with high metabolism. They usually get it from low metabolisms. People with low metabolisms get it from malnourishment. People with high metabolisms get it from nourishment, being correctly nourished, not depriving your body of anything that it needs, putting the waste away that your body does not need, putting that away. Even when we talk about pregnancies, we talk about type 1 diabetes, insulin resistance, insulin sensitivity. It's when the hormone insulin cannot regulate blood glucose level, leading to low to high blood sugar and unstabilized blood glucose level. But this is the minor state of insulin, is that it's not as bad as type 2 diabetes, because of course again type 2 diabetes, it's really bad. It's the worst form of diabetes. I was reading somewhere about cause and effect paper that there's actually 5, and it's indicated as insulin resistance, type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, insulin sensitivity, any forms diabetes as we look at that. But that was again from an online source, and it's very, very sketchy about that. Some things you cannot trust, a lot of things you cannot trust on the internet because they're run by the government, and it makes it really hard to trust something when you don't know anything about. You don't have any prior knowledge to it. And as just getting back to that, type 2 diabetes is when the hormone insulin, it cannot even be formed, it cannot even be produced to even try to control blood glucose level, but glucagon is going to be working overtime because it is trying to fill in that need for the hormone insulin, because it needs to regulate blood glucose level, and when it doesn't have blood glucose level, it's going to be unstabilized. Type 1 diabetes is usually just when we have either carbohydrates or less carbohydrates, or fewer or more amount of carbohydrates that is way too much for our daily intake, and we're usually going to have low metabolisms, no blood circulation, because the heart is affecting the heart even at that, because if the heart cannot make regulations on blood vessels cannot even supply oxygen to the muscles, tissues, and body cells that it's needed to happen. And the natural processes that the body makes, anabolism, catabolism, we look at biosynthesis, we look at with all these things that are tied together. And it's very funny how all these things are tied together. It's a lot of factors. But at the end of the day, it's better to know than not to know and be unsure. As I say here, Brian. Take a fitness. Again, many people, not people specifically, but it's women. Is that when during pregnancies it's high, and especially when they're increasing their take of dextrose monohydrate, found again in caffeinated beverages, found in cereals, found in protein supplementations, found that they're going to be misled, they're getting the nutrition, all of that. But honestly, it's just better to have more macronutrients than micronutrients, because micronutrients have the bad effect of carbohydrates. They have the bad effect of weight, of making it so that the hormone glucagon, has a hard ass time to regulate blood glucose levels. This leads it spiraling out of control into things like low blood sugar to high blood sugar. And this goes along with the whole thing of diabetes. When we talk about insulin, we talk about when insulin is not even being made. We talk about when insulin is actually being made, but it's not regulating the blood glucose level. This leads to glucagon. Glucagon is like Superman, and then insulin is like Batman. So, of course, Superman is going to win because he's Superman. It says it in the name that he's super. So, again, 20 minutes. But pregnant ladies, and again, they're going to be malnourished. They're usually going to have no circulation, a little stretch marks, cellulite, again, from the baby inside. But they don't realize that they have to eat for the baby side of them, not just themselves. Selfish reasons is that what makes this world definable as corrupt, is that when things are not being taken seriously, this is just going to increase the mother's chances of being a pre-diabetic, being a diabetic, and a mild carbohydrate intake that only affects if the blood glucose level is low to even high. And this again, it's really bad, because when blood glucose level is too high or too low, it cannot be regulated, and it's going to lead into things like type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes. It's going to lead into the mother being a pre-diabetic and being a diabetic, of being a, what do they call them? Hypoglycemics, I think. I forgot. It was a funny name. I forgot, but it was a very funny name. I forgot it. Sorry, guys. Anyways, liver failure. Even at that, I remember this one time, and a lot of people, a lot of teachers nowadays, they rely on caffeine. When caffeine, again, energy, that's only if your metabolism is high. And these obese teachers, I know one called Mr. Subtle. His name is Mr. Subtle. He works at Tawas area high schools, and he is morbidly obese. He was just seen going on My 600-Pound Life, and he was brought into the emergency room. They had a thing of Doritos, and they had a thing of fucking coffee, and they were just giving him it, and his body was dying. His last words were, "Well, shoot up that insulin into me. Shoot it up there to make sure I don't die." It was a funny joke at that. If he sees it, he doesn't watch my videos. If he does, fuck him. I don't give a shit about Mr. Soul. He's a selfish douchebag that's only thinks that he's better than everybody. A self-condescending little fucking prick. Anyway, from that, make sure that we keep this PG, because PG-13 is again bad when children are checking out my videos. When I'm pretty sure children do not check out my videos, because why would children check out my videos? Because children don't get a hold of my YouTube account. So, that I don't dispense my YouTube account to children. One, for the reason that they're incompetent, that they can't do anything, they can't function in life, they have a low work ethic. And two, because just inappropriate comments, inappropriate behavior, even at that, when you have to fucking see kids nowadays so stupid, so autistic, not being in a discouraging way, but encouraging them to be better than what they are, being stupid and inappropriate, and being just having no responsibility at all. Just like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Sadly, Tobey Maguire, with great power comes great responsibility. Tobey Maguire, He defined Spider-Man. He defined Spider-Man at the very best. He made Peter Parker. He made Spider-Man. We saw so much character development, and they push all of this personality, all of Peter. And Spider-Man introduces one movie that's shit, and that is filled with Iron Man. Basically, he's basically a sex offender, and he's like, and you know that he's always with come on, he's always with Peter Parker. He's doing something with him. You can tell he's doing something with him because why else would he be in every goddamn Marvel movie that has been fucking out? In Infinity War, we get, well, of course that was a mashup of every Marvel Cinematic Universe character. Sadly, Ant-Man and Wasp were not in that. I haven't seen Infinity War. Don't plan on watching it. That's a shit movie. DC is not good either. I'm not saying that both of them are. I'm not saying that any of them are good. Marvel is definitely better financially. It's getting more fans, getting more attraction than DC, because DC has. It's very, very mature. Disney, it's very immature, even inappropriate, even at that. You know, they cuss in so many of those Disney movies that we see nowadays. They're like, fuck, they say shit. They say, you goddamn cunt. That's what they say in, well, movies nowadays. Wait, are you open the door? She's going out. She's probably had a mental breakdown outside. Okay, anyways, we got 26 minutes into this video about dextrose monohydrate. It's going to be increasing the chances for liver failure, bad liver function. You basically just killing your liver. And it's not even about cholesterol. It's not about sodium. It's not about food high in sodium, food high in natural cholesterol, food high in fats, food high in lipids. It's about high in sugar, because as I explained it again, the sugar stores this, and the liver makes sugar in the body. And as we know in the body, that omega-3 fats, alpha linoleic acid, omega-6 fats, part of the polyunsaturated fat group, and omega-7 fatty acids is that they're made in the body. Your body makes cholesterol. Your body makes insulin. Your body makes glucogen. Your body really makes up all these things. It makes up sugar, makes up cholesterol. All those factors we have to look at. All those factors. It's many factors, definitely varying from one to another. What definition you're looking for, and what exactly you're going to be specifically targeting, what you're going to be asking in that sense. It's 27 minutes into the video. It's going pretty good. I'll probably just make the rest of my videos on the shell in my house, specifically. Brothers, he's binging. He's having like a binging marathon of Agents of Shield because he plays games all day. Joking, that is truth. What the hell is happening out there? I know, but again, it's very funny because our neighbors are potheads. And today I was going to the park to try to make a video. I couldn't. That's why I had to get inside here to actually make a video today to self-validate myself that I can make another video. A dog chased after me, and I almost got attacked. What happened? A dog that very frantic and very distressed situation right there. It's at 20 minutes, and I think you can make about 60 minutes worth of videos before you have to start deleting videos constantly, because it's way too much. After next, all these people don't make videos that are literally 30 minutes. This video is going to be 30 minutes. I want to stress dextrose monohydrate, how bad it is, not even just for your organs, it's bad. Bad for everything. And we'll again look at supplementations. I say don't rely on supplementations for everything. Rely on actual food. Rely on actual protein, carbohydrates. Rely on, because they're going to be more complex, less simple, less carbohydrates, and because of that, again, I will never say that dextrose monohydrate. Now, of course, supplementation that you get nutrition that you really need, but it's not something for people who have low metabolisms, because the metabolisms can't function as a person with a high metabolism, and they're just going to be gaining in overall body composition. So that's not something good. That's an indication right there. It's not something specifically good. dextrose monohydrate should only be taken with the people that in it, even supplementation, just expanding the varieties that we look at arginine, we look at the vitamin. This is going away from it, but it's still nutrition. So we look at the protein supplementation known as arginine. I learned from athletics. Whatever. So it decreases inflammation, decreases migraines. Now, just before relying on this, we realized that we have vitamins that helps our body with essential vitamins, and other things. We have other options to solve a problem that we're facing. Riboflavin can decrease head tension, can decrease migraines, and it can have that same effect. So it's nearly just as good. It's not let's say nothing less wrong with it. It's about the same, but don't rely on supplementations for everything. Dextrose monohydrate, corn syrup is not going to be found in that, but dextrose monohydrate work together. Corn syrup, it's all a form of sugar. Caffeine is a form of sugar. All these things, cane sugar, it's a form of sugar. Everything is everything is a form of sugar. Carbohydrate, dextrose monohydrate. I forget corn syrup, regular corn syrup. We look at all that stuff, caffeine. But as I stress in this video, I can't stress enough, is that don't rely on supplementations for everything. They're going to be giving you other things, but you have to make sure that your body is ready, that your body is prepared, and that you first build your body, build your metabolism gradually. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't force it to happen overnight. If you do, you're just gonna stunt the growth of your metabolism. How many metabolites are going to be made in the metabolism, the offspring of the metabolism, the baby products of the metabolism, when we look at that. So it's again 32 minutes and 17 seconds. It's pretty funny because I thought this video was going to be like 10 minutes, and then I extend it because I want to get my point across. I want to make sure that the point is very clear in this video, because I know many people don't make videos about dextrose monohydrate. They don't know what it is. And you really look at, I learned from Anthony, you can see that the ingredients, and a lot of them are very strange, very strange. You start to wonder, is that what they're putting into it? You know, if we have something good, you can affect it with something bad, like dextrose monohydrate, and relating back to supplementations. But of course, I can't stress that enough. But I realize it's definitely better. It's the powdered form. Carbohydrate is definitely stronger. It's almost as strong as high fructose corn syrup, and that is really bad when we look at caffeinated beverages. We look at protein supplementation. We look at foods high in dextrose monohydrate. Is that it's almost as that, and so it's regular carbs that we get from things like, we get carbs from grains, we get carbs from beans, wheat products, we get carbs from grains like medley grains. We can get that from couscous. We can also get it from cheese. We can get it from dairy. We can get it from yogurt, and really just, you can get it from vegetables too. You can get it from fruits. Those are all the options. You can also get it from nuts and seeds. Not nuts. Seeds high in phytosterols. Phytosterols are really fibrous and protein rich. Watching the doctors the other day, they said that an artichoke is a high source of phytosterols, which is wrong. They said that also avocados are a great source of monounsaturated fats when they have no oil at all, and they don't even have the structure of an omega 7 fatty acid. And what is that? Okay, so omega 3 fatty acids, omega 9, omega 6, omega 7. What's the secret pattern? Is that omega 3 fatty acids have 3 carbons. Omega 9 fatty acids have 9 carbons. Oleic acids. Omega 7 fatty acids, they have 7 carbons.